Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Circle of the World podcast, where we discuss Joe Abercrombie's First Law series. I am one of your hosts, Lord Chamberlain Jeffrey, and here are my co-hosts.
Would you like to George?
And Harrison, the Adeptus Historical.
And it's that time of the cycle where we divert from covering the books, and for this episode, we cover grimdark themes. So let's get started. Folks, even though we might not be covering a book right now, you know goddamn well we are gonna show you our gratitude. Or at least,
in fact, we're
tell
hitting
you about it.
A Discord renaissance at the
Discord
moment.
Renaissance. We'll get into that later on. But we gotta thank you for your continued support. Obviously, your engagement on the Reddit has been fun. Your engagement everywhere has been fun, to be honest. And you know us, we love the comments, we love the messages, we love just really everything about you.
Yep, every aspect.
Every aspect, not one aspect. I can't think of any. Is there anything that we don't like about it?
I don't think we've ever had a negative comment on anything ever.
That's not true.
That is not true.
No, it is. It is absolutely true. I've chosen to block it out. Okay.
Yeah, you're right. We're not going to go back into it, so we don't need to get more. It's a great podcast.
I've handled those negative comments, well, in my book, but whatever. So we, again, as usual, folks, just want to thank you. It's been a fun, wild ride. We obviously got the Age of Madness trilogy coming up after this, and we'll see what happens after that. Maybe we continue doing some other stuff. Maybe we just cover the first law in general. Maybe we just kill the podcast. Who knows? We shall see. We shall see. But again, we love you. We thank you. And please continue showing up because we need those, what is it, George? 0.0003 3-cent ads or whatever the fuck it is in our wallet right now.
Yeah, we've got a whole $5 of all the ads that we've done for the last 2.5 years. So next time we're all together, we're gonna do a special episode where we buy a sandwich and cut it into 3 pieces.
What kind of sandwich do you have over there? I can't buy a sandwich for $5 over here, man. What the hell?
All right, we'll buy stuff from the supermarket and make one.
How's that whole? We're doing this for the love of the game, and we're not gonna do anything for money. Working out, boys. $5 in 3 years.
It's fine. It's fine.
Wait, is it 3 or 4 years?
How much does this cost us to host it? Like $20 a month. So like,
it's like
$600.
Yeah, I'm like $2,000 in debt. Oh, love it. Like, who cares? It's a fun. It's a fun project.
It's worth it.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Absolutely.
So, as usual, folks, we love you. Continue, showing up on our social media platforms just to, interact. Just, shoot us a message, a comment, a dick pic, whatever you want. So we'll go ahead and we'll move right on to us.
I think it's so funny. Jeffrey always makes those jokes, and then he's the first one to laugh. Me and George are like, hold it in. Just let it slide. We're not going to say anything.
I'm a fucking goober. What can I say? All right. So we'll move on to our first segment, ladies and gentlemen. And what that is this is Harrison's Baby. It's a specialty. And it's about, is the first law truly grimdark, or are we all just bitches? Harrison, take it away.
Joe Abercrombie is like,
Joe what?
Grimdark,
Joe what?
Lord Grimdarkness.
Did you just say a Jabberwocky? What'd you just say?
What, Jeffrey?
You said it so fast, I thought you said Jabberwocky.
I didn't.
Oh, my Lord.
George, am I the only one that heard that?
Yes.
Yo, listen. When you edit it, listen to this back. Listen back. Listen.
Okay.
Go ahead, Harrison. I'm sorry.
I think you were talking about how Joe Abercrombie, his name is Lord Grimdark, right?
Yes, that's right. That's what it was. Okay.
So, Joe Abercrombie is known as Lord Grimdark, and I love the first law, and yes, there was elements of grim dark, how it's like gritty and shit, I guess. But like anytime I read it, the thing I love about it is that he feels very real. Everybody loves his characters. Why? Because they feel like real people. And so when people say that, I mean, sure, it's a fun moniker and not like it should go away. But as we've discussed before and a few times, is it actually grimdark? Because I feel more like this is more just like real life in Joe's books.
I feel like
go ahead.
The way that I think that Joe Abercrombie is very as a fantasy writer, he's obviously inspired by people like George R.R. Martin, who introduced a more grounded version of fantasy where it's very low level and there's not a lot of otherworldly stuff going on. But unlike George R.R. Martin, they don't all talk very fancy. Not everybody's obsessed with class structure and things like that. Whereas in Joe Abercrombie's world, everybody's just interpersonal. Everything's just about the way that everybody else thinks.
Yep.
Which is what makes it a little bit different from a lot of other fantasy.
Right.
Very well said.
And I think that's what people think when they say grimdark, is what they mean is it's depressing in the way that the real world is depressing.
Yeah, but I mean, me and George are big Warhammer 40K guys and Warhammer in general, and that shit's grimdark, right? Because like what? The worst thing that happens
grimdark is unending terror and awful shit happening constantly 24/7 and there's no escape from it.
Yep.
Like there's no that's it.
Okay.
That's what grimdark is. Yes.
So I guess you could say that like the small folk in A Song of Ice and Fire, their lives are grimdark because nothing ever goes right for those boys.
Yeah, but it's not about them, is it though? Yeah.
No, but their life sucks.
Even in the small folk in Game of Thrones or in A Song of Fire and Ice, all we ever see is the bad things that happen because all the characters are concerned with is the bad things that happen.
Yeah.
We don't see 99% of their lives. 99% of those people are just living normal peasant lives. Which isn't grimdark, really.
Okay.
It's just normal, yeah.
Okay.
Sure, if somebody comes and raiding and kills your family, yeah, it's bad, but it's not
pretty grim.
Well, let me put it like this. Let me put it like this. If we were to take this and somebody wrote a book about medieval times, which is during our times, super far in the future, and it focused on all the billionaires, and then people are like, yeah, that's kind of, and having the same conversation, like, yeah, but those guys, all the normal people had to work 9 to 5. That's kind of depressing, isn't it? It's like, yeah, but it's kind of just real life, and honestly, there's so many good things that happen, especially in modern day in comparison. Like peasants back then weren't like, my life is so dark and horrible. I mean, sometimes they were, I'm sure, but like they were probably just like, it is what it is, doing my thing. That's all I can do, like.
I wonder if you take a time machine back to like the Black Death, you tell them your life wasn't so bad. And then
that was. I've actually, I've actually speaking of that, I've just read a book called "The Black Death: An Intimate." Oh, sorry, it was called "The Great Mortality: An Intimate History of the Black Death."
Ooh.
And even then, people were still like, "Yeah, it could be worse."
Oh, really? Interesting.
Half the people I've ever known have died, but yeah.
From like written accounts and everything.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, our modern day lens is no matter almost anywhere in the world, especially in the Western world at least, your life is just not as bad as people from 500 years ago. It just isn't. Other than the very personal, intimate horrors that we go through in a psychological sense. But it's those people went through that too, so it's kind of like that. But the thing I was going to ask you boys as well is what, like, in comparison to real life too, of course, but like, what is the worst thing that's happened in the First Law universe, like in general, overall, in an event or something that's even happened to one individual? Like, what's the worst thing that's actually happened? Because I can think of way worse inside of other grim dark settings, probably.
Okay.
That's the thing, is that a lot of the things that happen in the First Law are very quick.
Yeah.
It's not like anybody, probably Glocta or anybody of his mates that get tortured in the dungeons.
The torture.
That's probably the worst thing that happens.
Right. How can I put this in? the Nagasaki of Adua, you know.
Yep, that's pretty bad. Yep.
I mean, that especially that is an event that people are still talking about all the way
Mm-hmm.
into the Age of Madness. You know, people are still affected by it.
Yeah. Right. Oh, is that true? Even
Yeah.
through
People still talk about it. Yeah, people still talk about West, and people still talk about the great fucking, oh yeah, shit, this all got demolished 20 years ago by
the Eaters.
a big magic tornado.
The Eaters are a terrible occurrence for themselves and for the populace.
Yeah, the Eaters, how they get turned is pretty grimdark. It seems like. We don't know for sure.
Right. The entire
slavery.
The entire
Nah.
the entire life of the Bloody Nine is pretty awful for anybody involved.
Everybody else, you mean?
Everybody else.
Well, I mean, Logan's personal tragedy. I don't want to get too much into the specific characters. Right. Yeah, but for sure, I mean, a lot of the characters go through serious tragedy. Logan loses his whole family before the series even starts. So.
Okay. Hard to explain. Like kids die in the series. We know that. That's That's awful. We know, like, if we're going to, like, let's just say characters throughout the entire series, not just the original trilogy or whatever. We have characters that we love die.
Yep.
A lot of times the bad guy wins.
Yep.
I don't know.
Quote unquote.
Like, what is okay? So, like,
I mean, even if we're talking from like a present lens, we can even talk about Logan and like Dogman's childhood. Growing up in a place where you might be eaten by fucking savage ape men. The Shanker. Yeah,
that part is actually.
They might invade at any time and butcher your family.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? They fucking did.
And that isn't really something you have to deal with in real life. I mean, you might have an opposing tribe that might want to kill you, but that's just other people.
Yeah.
To clarify the question, Jeff, I kind of mean, yes, the personal tragedy, but I think George has got it nailed on the head. Like, the lifestyles that these people are living on the day-to-day or even the events that are happening, how does it affect people in general? Because, like George said earlier, grimdark is basically never-ending suffering. I don't feel the characters go through that, or the little people,
No.
Not to that scale.
No, I guess besides Glocta, obviously going through never-ending suffering. I guess.
Yes, but he also becomes the most powerful man in the Union too.
Hey, baby, everything comes.
Glocta's just a big whiner. He just whines.
He is a whiner.
Yeah, what a dick move. I would say. I think that probably what kind of takes the series out of grimdark territory as well is the amount of humor that's in the series. Because the series is so funny that it kind of like it takes you out. You know what I mean? A certain moment.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, I have read.
I mean, dude, let's think about it. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, finish that thought.
Oh, because I was just thinking about, like, we literally witnessed in real time Logan kill a kid. Just split him in half in the high places. And then we brush it off because there's a joke somewhere, like a paragraph later. Tolduru dies by the hand of his own best friend. You see it happening. And then it's just like, all right, well, no, something else.
I think that's really interesting because that is the way that people deal with things in real life.
It's grieving.
That's the way that people deal with trauma. Yeah, that's how.
But we're grieving.
Not even necessarily grieving, but if you experience something awful or see something awful in real life, one of the ways that people get over it is to have a joke about it. Gallows humor. Soldiers are really, really prone to it.
Yeah.
You got to joke about some awful thing you've seen because it's one of the only ways that you can get over it. Whereas I have read a lot of what they call grimdark fantasy, where it is just nobody has a sense of humor and everyone's just
fucking dark
and miserable all the time.
It's like the characters are aware that they're in a grimdark universe and have to act a certain way.
Yeah. Like where's the human element to this? Like even people would just like make terrible jokes in horrific times.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so then Harrison, did you want to say? I had something I wanted to ask you about this, but I wanted to make sure. Did you have any other questions?
Not right now.
Not right now. Okay, so what would you guys? Because you guys were talking about like grimdark fantasies. What would you consider to be a grimdark fantasy?
I mean, 40K. Warhammer 40,000 is Yeah, no, there are 150 fucking Warhammer 40k books.
What?
Yeah,
Yes.
it's a novel. Yeah, they're novels primarily,
They-
where the lore is from.
Holy
Yeah,
shit!
yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah, and every single character, there is some people they sometimes make jokes, but there isn't really any kind of sense of overlying humor
yeah,
and there is a lot of philosophy in there that
yeah,
certain authors, because obviously 150 books you can't have one author. There's 6 or 7, maybe 20 fucking authors writing those books, and they all have different philosophies and they all have something that they want to bring across. But I think that 40k is literally
yeah.
is where the word grimdark comes from.
Is it?
I mean, yeah, it is. It is literally. I think one of the first novels was it's in the grim darkness of the 41st millennium. There is only war.
And that is
So
like
grim dark.
the moniker.
That is where the word grim dark comes from.
Interesting. Okay, so give me some other examples.
I actually can't think of the name of this series that I read, but there is a series that I read where one of the characters puts himself in a pocket dimension where all he does is like kidnap people and torture them, and he's like, "Oh, I've got to do this because this is like my purpose in life. I have to torture people because of some, some fucking reason."
Yeah.
And that's it. It's just like, some plot reason why everything has to be miserable.
Yeah, I would say there's a lot of. I'm not as well versed in reading, especially that subject, as you guys are in general. But I will say there's also a lot of movies that try to be. They're called edgy movies, but what they are is quote unquote grim dark movies where everything is like, oh man, look how horrible this is. That's like it's
Right. I'm tracking,
know.
but let's try to keep it in the realm of fantasy. Like, what else have you read, Harrison, that you might consider like?
I mean,
besides-
we can literally always go on to things like cosmic horror, go on to H.P.
Yeah.
Lovecraft,
Okay.
talk about like things like the universe is so big that it doesn't give a shit about you, and that is the whole overall
that's my life.
thing about cosmic horror.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But I feel like if you read too much of that, you're just gonna go mad.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
That's
can.
the point.
You can.
Actually, that does lead me to my next question though too, and this is I think the contrast, because the grim darkness part you can say, well, these people are realistic. It's grim dark for real life because this is, it's like real life, and we watch these people go through bad things and struggle interpersonally. However, what do you think is, and I do mean on a personal level too, but what are the best things that happen in the first law, like objectively, morally, ethically speaking?
The best things that happen in the first law.
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, there are so many good moments where characters connect with each other,
Yes.
and they find little moments,
Yeah.
to just be happy in the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're not thinking about how this affects the future or how they can do something with it or something like that. They're just like, I'm happy now here where I am.
Yeah.
Okay. What are some of the best things that happen? Well, in the original trilogy, the the formation of the fellowship, the bond there. Yeah. Right.
Doesn't last very long, relatively speaking, but it is there.
Well, and then like how like Giselle truly becomes to see all of them as her friends,
Yes.
and then obviously Pharaoh laughing at Giselle being crowned king or whatever.
That is a great moment.
I can still like picture her laugh in my head in the far off, like.
When we get Giselle and RD get to be happy for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, for like 2 weeks. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This is true.
Long game here. Well, there's a lot of things for me that I think about that to me they're like really, really well done. Giselle becoming a better person.
Oh yeah.
As and one of the only people to do it in the whole series, and the more you read the series, the more you're like, damn, this is actually really great. I think that is
Even
so
though
good.
it's sort of soured by Logan. It's because we see it through Logan's lens, especially towards the end.
Yeah.
When he's like, oh, you get to see him, and Logan's like, oh god, this kid is he doesn't know what he's getting into, but we don't really, from Giselle's perspective, that is still a good thing.
Yes, and you know what? This is super important. And I've always, as soon as I read the Age of Madness trilogy, which we're getting into soon, I like he writes the children of the main characters so well, but the key indicator, why do we like Orso so much? What is the real reason we like Orso so much? He had an involved father who loved him and taught him what was right and wrong. And Orso may be a denial of that to a degree, but Giselle is the only character who I think is actually successful in that, and that's part of the tragedy of Orso. It's the fact that he is the legacy of somebody who became a better person in a grim, dark real life, and unfortunately, he got onto it too late in the game.
Spoilers.
We don't do that anymore, Jeffrey.
That's
We're
right.
evolved now.
That's right. Yeah, poor Orso. What else? What's another good thing that happened in the first law?
They overthrow Baez, which is a good thing. They overthrow the banks. Too bad we can't do that in real life, huh?
Yeah, but I don't know how long this whole like. First of all, how much of a good thing can the great change can be if like mad people were dying, and the other thing is I don't know if that's actually gonna like last. I mean, the way Baez is, I don't know.
No, I agree. But my thought is, so that's
you just
that's
mean
the
the
thing.
removal of Baez from power.
The removal of his institution in a philosophical sense, in a theme sense. Yeah.
Right. Okay, interesting. What else? Ooh, Shy getting her the Ro and Pit back, and seemingly setting establishing a stable long-term life relationship with the Temple. We love that, right? We love that.
Calder gets to experience his rise to power,
and
even though he is a little bit soured by having to kill his father-in-law, but
I don't think he's that soured.
We all wish we could kill our father-in-law.
You mean don't you mean he's a little stoured?
Oh my god!
Very good.
Very good. So, also, I agree. There's all these moments, I think, in the series.
Oh, I got one.
Yo, go ahead, go for it.
Actually, I don't know if you know what? I'm gonna look at it as it's a good moment, a good thing. Okay.
Yeah.
When Glocta proposes to Artie.
Yeah. Oh, that's the last thing. Their life together is actually pretty fucking good.
Yeah. I mean, Artie's still
the best that either of them can expect.
Yes, because somebody, we know if Glocta didn't marry her, somebody was gonna kill Artie because she was obviously preggers with Giselle's baby.
A bastard.
And let's face it, with Glocta, nobody's gonna love that face, except Artie.
Oh.
Yes.
It was something like I don't know how to describe. I don't know if heartwarming is the right word, but when Artie is telling Glocta like, let me do this. I need to be needed. I want to useful. I want to be of use. I want to be there's. It does speak to just how lonely she was, and that's terrible, but.
That's a true kind of love, though, isn't it? If you're willing to do something that somebody else wouldn't be willing to do, because
and it's nice to see that they complement each other in that sense, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the aspect of all these moments in time where these like you said in the beginning, George, these moments where these individuals connect, where Glocta and Artie have this life together, Temple and Shy have this life together, Logan. Looking at Shy and telling her that she loves her and that he was proud of her. Even up in the north, between the lads before they all break apart, all those nice tender moments, the fucking bell and all that. Grim looking up at the ceiling, if it was actually grimdark, there wouldn't be any of that shit. It just would be, isn't that depressing?
Yeah, they'd all die horrible screaming deaths.
Or they would never get to actually be human beings and express themselves. Or I think that's the thing that to me it's not grimdark, because they feel so human and so real that human beings are not all grimdark, no matter how much we want to be depressed, because we can't help. We don't live without having some hope. So
so then do you think that the term grimdark it was kind of just like conjured up out of thin air and is not really an actual genre?
No, I don't. It is definitely a real genre. I just think it's misapplied.
Okay,
I think Joe, sort of took the moniker on early on, because at the end of the first trilogy, it does sort of seem that way.
Like
Because
if
if you're expecting a traditional hero's journey,
Yes.
and you're expecting everybody to come out on top and everybody to figure out what they're doing, Logan and Farah get together, and Giselle becomes the High King, and Baez gets cast down, and Glocta becomes the person he wants to be, and all that. Then you get the ending that we actually get. Sure, I can see why somebody would call it grimdark.
And,
Right,
and the
and
same
then-
reason for the end of Age of Madness as well. Same exact reason. People had high expectations. They thought it was going to be, now we're going to get the happy ending. No.
Yeah. So I have like a question later on, but because I mean, if you think about it, like Best Served Cold, revenge story, bloody, a lot of people
yeah.
die, a lot of people die.
There's a lot of good stuff that happens in there too, though.
A lot of good stuff.
Yes. You want to elaborate?
For cannibals, for
listen. Okay, there's some very good things that happen. I feel like
the heroes. A lot of people die.
Number one,
my sweet baby prince blacked out.
If we're talking about in only context of Best Served Cold,
and Best Served Cold,
Casca becomes a better person.
Okay,
for a little while.
Yeah, sure. Okay, buddy.
I specifically said in the context of Best Served Cold
for about 20 pages.
In the context of Best Served Cold, number two, they do get out of the thumb of Baez and the Banks, which is a good thing. They actually do something nobody else does, and they find their own way. Monza is a good ruler. Just everybody else, all the other nations hate her. Styria fucking loves her.
That's post Best Served Cold, though. That's not.
No. It's in the epilogue. It's in the epilogue. When we see that Bonza is a person that is actually interested in making Styria a better place.
Oh no, of course, but that's still the epilogue. Is still right there.
But at least we see like the context of the way that things are going.
Right,
of course.
Shanks gets to spend time with his family.
Mm-hmm.
I know these are some
after
small,
being a deadbeat dad.
That's lovely. Oh, that's brilliant. That is brilliant.
That is good. So like. I haven't read a lot of fantasy, although my reading history has grown. And would you consider A Song of Ice and Fire to be grimdark?
Nope. And
you read it, right, George? All 5 books?
Yep.
Okay, so you wouldn't consider it to be grimdark. That's the closest thing I would have thought until I read
Have you something? If you might have read that I would consider grimdark that isn't fantasy is 1984.
Oh. Okay, yeah, that's okay. Well, yeah. I mean,
it's miserable. Everybody dies. The world is miserable. Fuck yourself.
Yeah. Okay. That makes sense. The other one I was gonna say that is fantasy, and I think I might have mentioned it once or twice in this podcast before. Is R. Scott Baker's The Second Apocalypse? That shit. Dude.
I have
The Road. The Road is
The Road. Yeah. Anything by Cormac McCarthy is grimdark.
Well, yeah, but Cormac McCarthy just hates happiness. All right, so wait, hold on. But The Road is post-apocalyptic. That doesn't have any effect on the whole.
Oh no, it does. But to be fair, The Road does kind of have a happy ending.
It does, right?
It's
grimdark. Not for the man, but for the boy. Yeah.
Right, for the boy. I don't know. Okay.
I know, but there's an immense amount of suffering in The Road.
I've just had a look through my audiobook library.
Did you read Blood Meridian? That thing is fucking. Whee.
Yeah, that is 100% fucking dark as shit.
That is dark.
I think that's kind of. I think we've proven the point there that basically, there are a lot more grimdark books than Joe's series, and that's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all.
So what you're saying is, with the title, the moniker Lord Grimdark, you're saying that Joe is a usurper. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying that he's
doing a poser.
I'm saying that I'm saying that Joe did exactly what he says it too. A little part of himself is in every one of his characters. There's a consistent thing in these characters. And that's the Leo Dan Brock in it. Let me fucking finish, Jeff.
Right.
God damn. Sorry. He's a little selfish and he's self-aware of it. So whenever he said that, he goes, "That's a great marketing tactic." Yeah, sure, why not? I'll take it. he's like Baez,
Oh, Baez instead. Interesting. Okay.
And all of this said, I do think that Joe kind of took that moniker on the Lord Grimdark thing as sort of tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. That
It's
makes
sort
sense.
of a little bit, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, he
did.
probably
And-
did that. Yeah, in a joking manner. Because I feel like the word grimdark was really bandied about a lot more seriously around like maybe 10 years ago, right?
Yeah.
10, 15 years
You
ago.
just gotta get
And
really
now it's
pop-
kind of like if you use the word grimdark, then you're obviously making light of it.
Yeah. I also
Yeah,
think too.
I think it went through phases of, you use Grimdark. Originally, it was very serious, and then it was sort of tongue in cheek, and then it's just like, oh yeah, no, this is just what the real world is like.
Yeah. And plus,
I
mean,
do
like,
think my last thing I want to say on that one is the fact that the way he writes his characters and his story is like whenever you go into the first law, you probably are used to normal fantasy. You're not usually coming from grimdark stuff because it's like its own thing. You're like, I'm gonna read I'm gonna read The Road. You're not gonna go to the first law next. You're gonna read Lord of the Rings and then hear that Joe Abercrombie has a nice twist on it. Then read that and be like, oh, this is dark. This is real dark shit. Yeah. And so I think people naturally go from in the fantasy mindset to Joe Abercrombie or George R. R. Martin, and they go, "Oh, this is grimdark. Oh, I see now." Because it's just in comparison,
it's gritty, realistic. Yeah,
yeah,
I got it.
in comparison,
And plus, if we're honest, the word grimdark is kind of redundant. It's too redundant.
Yes, it is.
That's the
It's
point.
Dark. It's like, what?
This is the English language.
It's
It's
either grim or it's
redundancy,
dark. Nah, the grimdark thing, by your admission, was created by a couple of nerds writing about warlocks and ogres.
Dare you?
How do you think language was invented, Jeffrey?
What are you fucking?
There's a reason why the English language has twice as many words as every other language.
Because we're the bomb.com. All right. So,
all right.
With that wrapped up,
just before you wrap up,
yeah.
So there are a couple of authors. If you really do want to read some grimdark fantasy, listeners, I've got Kings of Paradise by Richard Neal. Mm-hmm. That's extremely fucking dark. Not very good, but it's extremely dark. And Paul Hoffman, Paul Hoffman. That series is very, very fucking dark. Read those two. Mm-hmm. That's grimdark.
Yeah, and like I was saying earlier, George, the other one, Scott Baker's The Second Apocalypse. It's like 7 books, 2 eras, you could call it. By the second era, the guy I don't know. I guess his editor quit because, fuck me, the man needs an editor. It's good, but it's dark, and also some kind of convoluted stuff.
So I feel like a lot of people that write things like that, they tend to be a bit obsessed with that theme. They tend to be obsessed with the theme of darkness, and like you said, they need an editor because they just keep going on and on and on and on and on about how bad everything is. It's like, God, and
it's
kind of a therapy.
And he had in those books, he had one of the similar issues that I have with Erickson and the Malazan the books is that every character speaks as if they're a fucking philosopher. It's like you're not giving no variance here. They all sound the same. And because of that, they speak as if they're constantly fucking out there. They're up there presenting their dissertations, and it's like, yo, you're killing me. You're killing
as
me.
if everybody goes around thinking about the
right.
fucking
that's not realistic. That's
not the way people work.
It's not the way people work, man. So I enjoyed that book, and I'll read those series. Well, the one that you said is not good, I probably will pass on. But
if you guys want a spin-off series of Jeffrey's book reviews where he absolutely shit talks almost all of them, we can totally accommodate.
We can absolutely do that. You send us an email if you want to see us cover any of this shit. We'll do it. We'll do anything.
We'll do anything. And speaking of us doing anything, well, now it's time for our best meme of the week. Georgie boy, that's you. Take it away.
So this week we have tall for a hobbit.
Tall for a hobbit.
Yep. A classic picture of Mickey Mouse. I love unhinged Mickey Mouse memes. It's one of the best characters, I think, to completely subvert and just be completely fucking weird about it. Logan inhaling the fire spirits.
That's a surprise.
Rise to the world later.
device tool that will help us later.
Oh my god, you motherfuckers! You should have just if you were me, I just witnessed like 3 different Mickey Mouse voices all occurring at the same time.
Yeah, that's why I stopped it and let him do it. Because
Oh my
Harrison, you're
God.
much better at it than I am.
Hey, everybody!
I work with knife fingers.
That's by the way, that's my entire range, audience. Donald Trump and Mickey Mouse. My entire range. I got the essentials.
That's it. That's all you needed. That's amazing.
And that's another thing as well that I love the fact that Joe just let that in. Just that one.
Just that one parent ability.
You think
that
it's gonna be
it again?
mandatory?
No.
Check this out.
Did he have an opportunity to do it again? Yeah. Did he do it again?
Nope. Oh shit.
That's great.
And for a special mention, Jeff, have you read The Devils yet?
Thank you,
yet.
Jeffrey.
Not yet.
Well, excellent. Well, this is from our friend the Bloody Nighter.
Uh-huh.
And we're so happy that he's made this meme that has got over fucking 30 upvotes on Reddit. And I think this is from Beau is Afraid, I think. I don't know. It's Joaquin Phoenix and
no, it's not Joaquin Phoenix. That's the
Is that not Joaquin Phoenix? It looks
no,
like
that's a Bird Box.
Oh, is that from Bird Box? Oh, is that okay.
The Sandra Bullock, blindfold.
Right,
thing
okay, yeah.
that everyone was jerking off of.
Anyway.
Oh my god.
Anyway, yes, this is somebody forcing Jeffrey to fucking read The Devil.
It's a
Fucking
bloody
read it.
honor. Read it. By the way, as an honorable mention to that honorable mention, in the comments of that, Sir Spaceman says, you could do the same to me. And Josh, he goes, you are my brother, Anakin. I loved you.
Yes, so Spaceman, you also need to read The Devil.
You're next. You're next, Sir Spaceman. Tomorrow night, you 3 knocks at your door.
Jeff, you don't even have an excuse. You've got a fucking signed copy of the fucking special edition right there.
Jeffrey, you work from home, Jeffrey. Jeffrey, you work from home.
Do you know how many books I've been reading that just like have been taking up my time?
9 months.
Oh my god. I
You sound like Cookie and Monster.
once I finish the Malazan series, I'm gonna get the Devils going, finish it, just so I can say I read it, okay?
You say that like you don't want to read it.
You're forcing me. Like, I'll read it. I've been meaning to read it, but I just have so many books I gotta get through.
I just thought if we did a podcast about Joe Abercrombie that you would put it at a higher priority.
Oh my god. I will make sure it shoots up to the top of my TBR, okay? My TBR list.
Okay, Jeffrey, we'll circle back on that. Now, on to the next segment.
Yes, thank you very much, Tor for Hobbit and Bloody Niner for this.
Yes, thank you.
We do appreciate it. Thank you so much. So, to wrap up this, at least the conversation of our conversation about the whole grim darkness, we're going to talk about which characters in the First Law series suffer the most, and are there any real life comparisons that we can, kind of point to and be like, oh, hey, look at there. Harrison, start off.
Pharaoh. Pretty hard to beat that one. She
Wow.
grew up in a town.
That is
Things were
very
pretty
true.
good. She was probably like a 6-7-year-old girl. She
Jesus
got
Christ.
kidnapped,
I'm already
put into
fucked up.
slavery. More than likely had some horrible things happen to her. Then she was sold as a sex slave to the emperor. Who knows how that went? It went sideways in some ways. And then I meant like she got away. So like that went even more sideways.
Not to mention the fact that the only reason why the Emperor's twisted son was interested in her in the first place is because she tried to cut herself to the point where she wasn't attractive anymore.
Yep.
That's true.
Because, yep. And on top of all
Which
that,
is one of the worst things I've ever thought about. That's terrible.
And on top of all that, she has got the devil blood, right? And people see her differently, and people act like she's all weird and shit, and treat her differently. And no wonder she tried killing Yolway. People who act like she was some crazy bitch, she had every right to be. Leave her alone. And then you know what she did with the rest of her life after this First Law series? She went around killing every single eater she could, and was seemingly successful. And she did it probably cold-blooded, without mercy, with absolute purpose in mind. And they damn well deserved it for the most part. So
yeah, and you know what? Another part of Pharaoh's suffering we should take into account here is the side effects of touching the seed, hearing all those voices from the other side. And I know, like, at the end of the series, she kind of like, I don't want to say quells the voices, but she is able to kind of like focus on like, this is my plan of attack. After Mamoon, you damn snake dies.
But she gets to focus them.
She gets to
focuses,
but they're still there though.
She uses her willpower to say, "Shut the fuck up! I have a purpose."
And bear in mind as well, she definitely gains some extra strength from it as well, considering the fact that she can smash Mamoon like that.
Right.
Even though he's wounded, he's still and he still has supernatural strength, so she can just fucking smash him in a second.
Yeah. So, but I'm saying the suffering of like just if they're not driving her crazy, which would be awful, right? They're still probably existing in her psyche. That's, of course, that's exhausting. That's suffering. After one day, I'm like, fucking kill me now.
But even just having supernatural strength in and of itself in this world, is not terrible.
Also, also Farrah hardly ever sleeps.
Yeah,
think about that. She's awake probably 95% longer than every
one eye open. Well, she got a good night's sleep after porking Logan that first time. I'll tell you that.
So
that's one of the happy things.
That's one of the happy things. That totally did not end terribly.
George, what is your submission for worst suffering character in this grimdark universe?
Well, Scott, definitely Glockton.
That's cheating.
I mean, he spends 2 years in a fucking dank dungeon.
Everybody knows that. I'm kidding. I just meant the way he talks about it. By the way,
he does mention it every single day.
He does.
But fuck me, most people would be a gibbering mess after that.
That's true.
People come out comatose after that kind of thing in real life. So to the fact that he's even cognizant is kind of a triumph.
True. Yeah,
in a way.
And we can talk about his pampered early life, right? But the fact that
it's the context, isn't it?
You lose it all, right? Yeah.
The fact that you've come from privilege and you've had everything you want your entire life, and you have it taken away from you, and you go from the point of being everything you want to be to being less than you ever thought you could be.
Yeah.
And we actually see all of that, the entire process. And I think that's one of the things that brings a lot of people to the First Law as well, is that Glockter is so relatable in the way that everybody's kind of felt that way. Everybody's been rock bottom. And they kind of relate to Glockter in that way, even though everybody knows he's a cunt.
Yeah.
Well said. Very well said, George. Go ahead, Jeff.
My submission is somebody that we've overlooked for quite some time.
Don't you dare say fucking Forley the weakest. I'm gonna be pissed off.
Even though my sweet baby prince suffered. No. Malika who? Malika what? Malika's quiet. I would say he suffered in his own sweet, sweet way. Think about it. You are plucked from the old empire with the lure of becoming a famed Magi. You would be the 14th Magi, if possible. And instead of working with Zacharias, you work with Baez, who then turns your every waking moment into a nerve, like just complete he's anxiety riddled, right? To the point he can't even name plants.
Yeah.
Right? He's sent on a mission to find Logan leagues away from the Great Northern Library, and just happens to come across him. But on the way back, falls ill and is nearly dead if it wasn't for Logan, leaving the pot behind and carrying him back. And what does he get when he brings back Logan somehow, some way still? Baez continues to belittle him, and then belittles him even further on their journey down to Adua. And even then, Kwai tries to keep a positive face in spite of everything. And then what happens? He goes on a leisurely stroll for some morning coffee, and then some dogs are set upon him. And
dogs.
I mean, it might even be worse than that. I mean, from the context, he probably gets dragged out of his bed.
Yes, actually, probably. He's probably having a nightmare. He's probably
Yeah,
sleeping.
you're having a nice sleep in a bed for the first time in a week.
I don't know about
And
nice.
he gets dragged out of his bed and eaten.
Hey guys, and by the way, to side note on those two things, in the beginning of the series, you think Logan and Byers would totally notice that. By the end of the series, you're like, Logan and Byers would not care if they even noticed. They would just be like, that's weird. His sheets are messed up, but he wasn't there in the middle of the night, and he's acting a little weird. Must have been the wind.
Must have been.
They just don't care.
No.
One honorable. I've got two honorable mentions actually.
I got
Ptolemy.
Ooh, how can we
Ptolemy.
forget about her?
Locked in a goddamn tower.
Spent 400 years. No, for 400 years.
But before that,
as long as between the fucking when they had the battle with the Maker to when she got out again, she's been just like wandering around on her own with nobody to talk to except the devil.
Right, and before that, don't forget, she was killed by her lover.
And that.
Right.
The only
saw
other
her
person
father
that she knew except her father.
and saw her father killed in front of her, only to get tossed off. So that's the thing.
And then locked back in that same tower for probably who knows how long.
Right. Well, hold on. This is one thing I do want to just real quick hit me with the lore. But I know Ptolemy was buried. Ptolemy was buried because they talked about it. Yulway and Baez. So where was she buried? Inside the tower or in the grounds around the tower?
I don't want to spend too much time on Ptolemy. It's kind of an honorable mention, but she was buried in the ground, presumably for a long time, and then she like woke up because the other side finally like touched her or reached her or woken her.
It wasn't okay. Gotcha. Okay, never mind. We'll talk about that another time. But go ahead. Okay, which other honorable mention?
My second honorable mention is Vic, who basically didn't get tortured, but she was okay. You can compare. She was a completely innocent child who was sent to a fucking labor camp, forced to work for 10 plus years. The only way out was for her to basically fuck over her entire family. She took it, lost everything, and then basically became the same abuser that she was. But then at the end, she actually walks away, which is insane because it's not what Glock did. And I don't know, Vic. When people complain about, I said it million times now. People complain about Vic talking about the camps. Let her talk about the camps. Glock talked about 2 years in prison.
Yeah, you would.
Glock talked about.
If you've been through that, you would.
And Glock talks about the prison. I was a prisoner in Gurkle, blah blah blah, and people are like, "Whoa, how stoic!" And Vic talks about it, and they're like, "What a bitch! She was in camp as a child." It's just Auschwitz. It's not a big deal. Like, let the woman complain. God damn. Anyway,
George, do you have any honorable mentions?
That's very well put. What's the name of Dogman's fling in
Cathal?
Oh,
Cathal.
I was gonna say Cathal. You son of a bitch.
Cathal definitely has a similar backstory to Vic because she's obviously in the camp as well. We don't know that she's committed any crimes. She finally gets a way out and then gets
murdered,
shot, and dies a horrible screaming death. And all she wanted was some eggs.
Eggs. Oh, Joe's favorite food.
Eggs.
Yeah. Bacon's ready. Boom. Honorable mentions. I want to make you guys lose your mind, but I'm not gonna do it.
Go on.
I was gonna say, you know what? Bethod doesn't get enough appreciation for how much he suffered because of Logan.
I agree.
Psychological suffering, definitely.
That man's head was on a swivel because his best friend's a psycho.
The only reason I would disagree is because he's part of it. He did actually live a better life than 90% of Northmen. So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
Let's be fair. As we spoke about in the chapter from Made a Monster, he could have just had him killed.
He could have stopped it. Yeah,
he could have done that. Yeah.
He could have got him. Anyways, we can move on now.
So, do we have any real life comparisons for any of those?
Not specifically. I don't think there's any like real life people that fit any of those molds entirely. Obviously, there have been people that have been tortured, people that have survived labor camps.
Actually, I think there's a huge. Yeah, I agree with George. I think there's a huge amount of people, especially not written about or written in passing as just a number on a page. Huge numbers of people who were slaves across all, I'm not just mean the Americas, I mean across all of time, you know, who suffered worse than all those characters who didn't get it who didn't get an not only a happy ending, that didn't get an ending that was satisfying, they got what they wanted at all. So I would say it's way darker, and they do kind of touch on that a little bit in the first law, but
yeah. Okay. So we'll move on with all that in mind. We'll move on to our final segment for this episode, which is our community interaction segment. We've had some discussions on our Discord server. I'm gonna let Harrison and George take the reins here, but I will say, there was a comment in one of them wondering if what I would do with the commies of the world, and I just want you to know, I will send every last one of you to a capitalistic gulag, you sons of bitches.
Those poor Chinese people.
What? The gulags were Solovnitsyn.
I know, but all the Chinese technically live in a communist government, which technically in your mind they support.
Oh, true. Yeah. Damn commies. So with that, and all those listening from the gulags, George, take us into the community interaction segment, por favor.
Fuck's sake, Jeff, from the gulag. Seriously. Yes, everybody who is still listening on this episode and is in the Discord, thank you so much for having all this wonderful conversation with us. We love to have just incredible discourse. We've had so many different opinions and so many different things. I know I get a little bit aggy, a little bit aggressive with my arguing sometimes, and I hope you forgive me for that.
It's the Arschlechter in you.
I am the Arschlechter. That's right. But I just want to bring up a couple of the things, because I specifically asked if you'd want any kind of themes brought up. A lot of these are obviously jokes. Specifically, Dana, who you will see next week when we have her on the guest spot, is the main thing of the main theme of the first law is never get a bank loan. That's very true. Never get into it. It's bad for you. It's very
unless you live in America and you have no fucking choice if you want to have a home or a place to go to work. But other than that, a way to get to work.
Absolutely. Last resort. Hummingbird Butcher says, "Never take eggs away from a one-eyed man." That is just a general good life advice, as Koska says. You know, it's just obvious, isn't it? You know.
Sadly, it is very true. Also, again, Joe's obsession with eggs, top tier.
Eggs come up over and over and over. He just loves eggs. Delicious breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
It's like you're trying to sell me eggs, George.
Can you?
I was trying to come up with the next one.
I'm sorry. It's my fault. My fault.
I'm gonna say the next one that I saw that I really enjoyed, but it's more just like his name. All right, so I'm just gonna say his theme, and then I'm gonna say his name. Never bet against the wizard unless you're sufficiently crippled. Pontificated by the High King Grand King Jew. Like, what?
Who is also somebody that we've also had on the podcast as well. Mm-hmm. And if you're offended by that name, this man is Jewish, so you know, take it up with him.
Your anti-Semitism has no place here.
We have had somebody else as well that doesn't comment very much. Is Stefan, that I have renamed Yoru Sulfur because he pops up here and there.
He pops up everywhere.
He pops up everywhere, and the quote that he's chosen for the theme is, "The trouble with running is wherever you run to, there you are."
Mm-hmm. Oh, and don't forget, never bet against a banker.
Never bet against the banker.
Yep, that's a good one.
We absolutely love all of these wonderful things that you guys say, and I've had so many fucking good laughs from all of this. And we hope to talk to you on the podcast at any point. If anybody wants to get involved, just let us know. and we'd happy to get you as long as you have a good microphone. I'm looking at you, Trey.
Yeah, please, for the love of God, please, man.
One last note on the comments. Most of them are jokey, some of them are kind of tongue in cheek and all that. But I will say, the Bloody Niner, our biggest fan, who's brought most of these new people on as well, or instigated it. He actually talked about basically the overall general theme being the the new world order, and everything is being controlled and all that. And the banks own everything, and deconstruction of capitalism, propaganda, how little people pay. How little people pay the price for their wicked games and all that. And you know what? We won't talk about it too much, but he's not wrong.
He's not wrong, no.
Yeah, we got a little something in the works. Oh, and
I mean, we could talk about world orders all day, but we would have to start a whole new podcast, and it would be a completely different thing, and we probably wouldn't be allowed on Discord anymore.
But yeah, so we love like just the absolute engagement we've gotten from everybody in the Discord server. Just because George literally asked that question, I believe, with like about 10 minutes before we hopped on to record, and then we just got flooded with a bunch of stuff, which was pretty fun. Yeah, and obviously another big, because Harrison really wanted to like touch base on this whole grimdark aspect, or at least the supposed grimdark aspect of the First Law. But there are plenty of other themes that probably are much more prevalent to the First Law. Joe Abercrombie's work. A couple of them being like the inability for people to change, the cyclical nature of things, which you can dive into on another episode. But
yeah, definitely a different episode that we did. We hope you guys enjoyed the change of pace, and we hope to do more in the future.
And again, if you're inspired by this at all, and if you have been listening and you want to join in, just send us an email if you're not already in the Discord, because we want to hear from you. We want to hear all sorts of different points of view and opinions, because that's what we started this for. This is what this all is all about.
Although it may take us 3 weeks to respond because we suck.
Yes. Yeah, but we'll get to it. We'll get to it. That's our show, everyone. We want to thank you all for listening and supporting this podcast. As you know, this is a passion project for the three of us, and your support means oh so much.
Join us next week as we have a special guest.
And make sure you follow us on all of the social media, or if you want to join in on the conversation, shoot us an email at circletheworldpodcast@gmail.com.
And if you haven't already, please subscribe to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, or wherever you get your podcasts from. And please make sure to rate and review us. Thank you all again for listening.
The trouble with running is wherever you run to, well, there you are.